Guys, when it comes to being prepared, it can be overwhelming, it can be very expensive. And if you're on a tight budget, or even if you're not, we're going to look at 10 items that I typically pick up when I'm out at a store. Now, there are a lot of items that you're going to need to order, things like water filters or trauma kits or things like that. But when it comes to everyday items that are readily available all around you, it's really easy to pick these vital 10 items up whenever you're at the store. And before long, you'll have a really good stock. Now, number one on the list is water. You've got to have water. You can only live 3 days without it. And whether you get these gallon jugs or you get the small water bottles, you need to have a store of water. And usually 1 gallon per person. That's really your drinking water. But you'll also need water for sanitation. So having water is vital. And you can't have filters, and you can do all of that. And that's great, and we have them. But having just portable, potable water on hand is really convenient. Just make sure you keep your water stored in a climate-controlled environment in dark conditions. Toilet paper. We've seen toilet paper dry up off the shelf. I mean, just run out in 2020. And whenever we have any kind of crisis, toilet paper is going to be one of the first things to go. There's definitely alternatives to toilet paper, but I'm going to stick with toilet paper because to me this is a necessity. One of the things about toilet paper is it can be kind of bulky, but buying big cases of toilet paper, you have a storage issue. But when you buy the smaller packages, you can store those up, and just make sure that you have that toilet paper put back. And it's really inexpensive, but if you need it, it's priceless. Number 3 is food. And guys, canned food will last 100 years, no matter what the shelf life says. Because of the high pressures that they use in the sanitary environment, canned food lasts a long time. These cans are lined on top of that. And so you can really store up. One thing about canned food is it's fairly inexpensive. And so you can pick up 2 or 3 cans. Also, dried beans or rice. Just grab a pack, stick it away. Whenever you're at the grocery store, buy the things on your list and just throw in an extra few cans or dried beans and rice. Number 4 is basic medical supplies, and these are things that you use on an everyday basis, whether it's Advil, Tylenol, aspirin, or like this antibiotic ointment. Band-aids, you can use Band-aids at all times, and all the different other things, Imodium, Benadryl, whatever you need, antacids, that can get you through things without having to go to the store, because these things may run out. And while these things are basic today, in an SHTF situation, these things are going to be very important. Your trauma kits are necessary, but those are things that you're not necessarily going to find while you're walking through a Walgreens. Number 5 is lighters. Fire is one of those basic elements that man has used from the beginning. It can boil your water, it can cook your food, and it can keep predators at bay. It gives you warmth, and it gives you light. So having means to start fires. Whenever I'm at a grocery store and I'm checking out, there's always a pack of lighters sitting there. I personally like the Bic because it's so easy just to click. I like to keep it in the container also when I store it, because that way it doesn't get air to it and it doesn't corrode that little wheel. Also, when I'm at the gas station, I'll pick up one of those torch lighters because they usually have them right there at the counter. They're fairly inexpensive, so you can just pick a few up and put them back. Number 6 is a heavy meal trash bag. These are contractor bags, and we personally like the really heavy meal bags because they just hold up. And whether you're hauling off trash and getting it out of the way, or you can use this as a tarp, you can use it as ground cover. There are so many different uses. You can keep wind off of you, you can keep yourself shaded. And we keep one of these in our get home bags at all times. And make sure though that it is the really heavy meal trash bag, but standard trash bags work as well. Make sure that you have cleaning supplies. Now, I have a Clorox wipe container here, but really just buying the gallon jugs and just the unscented bleach, because you can do so many things with it. You can clean, you can actually treat water, and you really need to have those sanitary conditions, because if you get sick and if bacteria is setting up, it could cause a lot more problems than just the SHTF. And so you need to make sure you keep things clean. I don't care what the sci-fi movies show you. Batteries. This is portable stored power. And you can use your flashlights, you can use different things that require batteries. Typically we use a lot of AA's, so we keep AA's on hand. that having the CR123s are very important as well, especially if you have lights that use those kind of batteries. And don't forget your 9-volt batteries, because these typically run small radios, and communication is going to be vital in a disaster situation. Having tarps. Tarps have a lot of uses, and multiple tarps are important. They can be used to shelter, ground cover. They can be used to cover items. If a limb falls through your roof, you can cover your roof with tarps and keep the rain out. A lot of uses for tarps, and typically I pick these up at Harbor Supply. They're fairly inexpensive, and I get some small ones, but I also buy the large ones. And thank goodness they're fairly inexpensive, so it's a great thing to stock up on. Last but not least, number 10 is ammo. And I typically stock up heavier on my rifle ammo because that is for my go-to gun. But also I grab some standard handgun ammo when I can, because having that small little handgun may be something or the only thing that you can carry in a disaster situation. Also, you don't want to forget about your 22s and your shotgun ammo. Now, I've been storing up ammo for many years, and when the first assault weapons ban happened, the ammo shelves dried up. Whenever we'd go into a gun shop or even Walmart at the time, we'd pick up a box of ammo about once a week. And before long, you have a pretty good supply of ammunition. I know right now at this point, ammo is a little more expensive, but guys, it's worth it because this is priceless. And you can also use this as a bartering item, which with all the different items that we've shown, those are the items that people are going to need. And so you can use those for barter to be able to get the things that you might need that you don't have in stock. And really, all of this stuff is fairly inexpensive, but again, all of these things are vital in a disaster SHTF situation. So guys, you may be on a tight budget, you don't have a lot of money. These are 10 different things that you can pick up just as you go to the store as you're doing shopping. Just think about it, pick up a little bit of extra. You can buy most of this stuff for $5 to $10. And just use that, stock it away, just in case anything happens. If it doesn't, you've always got those supplies and you'll use them up anyway. Now, when I say pick these up every time you go to the store, I don't mean you pick up all 10 items. Just pick up 1 or 2 of these items a week whenever you're at the store. And again, before long, you're going to have a nice stockpile. I remember years ago when I first started on YouTube, which was 12 years ago, going on 13, there were channels that were saying, if you haven't prepared, it's too late. Don't believe that. Make sure that you prep, you get a few things together, you put them back. Whether you're preparing for a storm and a power outage, or you're preparing for, civil distress and a lot of even bigger things, these will all suit. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Course number 11, don't forget your cigars. Smoke them if you got them. Ah, the sky is falling. Ah! Guys, don't be scared. Be prepared.